I know that.
Call the meeting to order. We do have a quorum. We stand for the pledge and the prayer if you choose to. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we ask that you place your healing hands on Gary Sowers, our secretary, who improve his health, as you have with Nate. We ask that you guide our thoughts and our actions, that they be pleasing and proper. We ask these things in Christ's name. Amen. If you haven't signed in up front, please do so. First item on the agenda is approval of minutes from September the 9th.
So moved. Second.
Moving to second, those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
If none opposed, motion carries. Next is review fees. We don't have any.
Sorry, should take that out there.
Spray program. Oh, boy. What is our total? 39,800?
No, one more down.
54.
54,509.42. It's been mentioned on the, can you enlighten us a little on the spray on the Mary A. Gibbs where it's $190? What did they do in there?
That would have been a portion of the Gibbs. I don't have that with me, so I
How
can't.
many lineal feet would that be? 40, 50? Because it's
Again,
all mowed or
I'd have to
cropped?
look at the invoice.
can pull it
If
up.
Dave wants to pull up the invoices.
No, that's okay. You can,
Horse Lakes too for $50? Do they just charge you a minimum just because the name's on the sheet?
We break those up into several phases, and so this is our small spray program. Our large spray typically takes care of all of the ag drains, but there are some areas that we have to put on the small spray program so that they can backpack it in and things like that. So it's typically smaller areas. This could be that subdivision. I don't know. We would have to pull up the invoice to.
$50 wouldn't cover the fuel to drive to that place. I don't know. It seems like some of these are kind of trivial.
And we've not received the large spray program invoices just yet, so you're gonna see a lot of the bids on that.
Well, there isn't a lot of the Gibbs that's not either cropped or mowed or under a railroad track that the railroad takes care of.
We'll look into it.
while we're on the set, do you have a question?
Are any of these under ARPA monies as well? No, no.
This is yearly maintenance.
Okay, thanks.
While we're on the subject, I would like us to really consider going back to Dalton. I know Tiffany, you said you have complaints about them, but we have complaints about these other guys.
Yeah.
The nice thing about Dalton, they're more thorough. If we get a complaint, because they got much larger equipment, they're from Fort Wayne, we've used them in the past. Just at least consider.
Yeah, we can talk to Lex.
Yes.
Yeah. I can tell you that in 2026, we're gonna relook at the spray program and those, we've had trouble with
Yeah.
some of them, so we're gonna take a look at it.
Is the Nature's Choice office in Hendricks County that's doing this? It is.
Right off of
Okay.
Green Street.
Okay, got it.
The amount is $54,509.42. Do we have a motion? Chair will entertain a motion to accept.
moved.
Second?
Then move the second, those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And none opposed, motion carries. Acceptance of the auditor's report for the same amount.
Move to accept.
Second.
Then move in second, those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
None opposed, motion carries. Mr. Stillwater, do you have anything? Dave Gaston, it's up to you.
Tiffany, go for it.
So Emily will pass around the yearly drain assessments and suspensions. The only thing that has changed this year from last year is we added the Holloway drain on there for suspensions.
We have to do this every year. If a drain gets to a point in their maintenance fund where they are 4 times the amount of a yearly maintenance based on the surveyor's estimate, we can suspend those for the next year. And so we have done that over the last 15 years. And many of the drains, if we get to a point where we need to start spending money and we get below that threshold, then the next year we'll bring those maintenance funds back online to replenish those funds.
So does this require the board's action to do this? So the board, the chair will entertain a motion to support the surveyor's office recommendation on these suspensions.
I move to approve the list of suspensions for the 2026 year. Is that, or the rest of this year?
I'll second the motion. Is there further discussion? Those in favor of the motion, say by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, they're not opposed, motion carries.
We mentioned this and handed the contractor policy out at the business meeting. Hopefully you've had a chance over the past 2 weeks to take a look at that. It was mentioned in the business meeting that you'd like to move on this, revise contractor policy. So I put it on the agenda for
And
you.
this is, in our business meeting, we discussed personal contact with the alternative installation folks. In other words, the wheel machine guys, actually making a phone call or to them to remind them, or not just those people, but anybody who isn't on the list, to remind them that they have to go through the process. And not just the email, because people don't always look at that.
And it's on our website.
There you go.
It's out there for the world to see, but we did have 2 contractors last year that didn't meet those deadlines. We had a contractor the year before that didn't meet the deadline. They've all worked for us for years and years and years, so, yeah, I can
And what is that
call
time,
them.
what is that time period where they apply? What is,
It's in the policy. It's typically a 30-day.
New contractors is October 1st, old ones are November 1st to 1st.
well, is the board comfortable enough with this to sign it into an ordinance?
I looked at it, and I didn't see anything that stood out to me that needed to be changed. But I don't know all the details either, quite frankly.
I'll make a motion to approve the contractor policy for 26.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Is there further discussion? I think
I
for,
think we need to make sure that we get the notification out to folks so they don't miss, and I know if they miss that deadline, it's on them.
Right.
And if they say they weren't notified, but we need to make sure we have our information that we did notify.
Yes.
And, yeah.
I can personally call every contractor if you'd like me to.
that would be a good idea. That
Well-
way they can't gripe.
But
Well, I don't know
also
about every
make
month.
sure that
talked
something's
about
that it's.
Public, it's on the website.
Yeah.
We'll put it in big
Yeah.
red letters,
Yeah.
note.
Updated contract.
Update our
policy.
contractor policy.
Yeah.
So I don't want anyone to be able to say,
Right.
we didn't know, we had no idea.
Right.
I want to be able to say it's on you,
Yeah.
not on us.
Correct.
We've done everything we possibly can to notify everyone. I don't want to go through what we went through last year.
Right,
Government needs to be a service organization
that's right.
and provide good service to
Right.
the public. And
Yep.
Doing that, I think, is good. Okay.
I can make personal phone calls. I've got,
Or
I'll
somebody
make
in
the
your-
time.
somebody in
to-
your
Delegate that.
department, Yeah.
I think I will do that myself.
Okay. Good.
We have a
I'm not
motion
gonna-
and a second to accept this policy.
Okay.
Is there further discussion? Those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, they're not opposed, motion carries. Okay.
Next week, next Monday, starts the AIC, Association of Indiana Counties Convention down in French Lick. And I think I'm scheduled to be there. My mother-in-law is to the point that it could be days for her left. So if I'm not there, it's because I'm at a funeral. Just to if you all are looking for me, if I'm not there, it's because of that reason.
Understand. Now, is there anyone in the audience who has anything to bring before the board? Hearing none, there's one thing we need to
Joe,
discuss.
do you have anything to say?
I talked to Joe and Doug Saturday.
I saw you Saturday.
The contractor, Jim Williams, his wife is there, has formally requested that we proceed with that John Green and take the crops out. And we're on the record as saying, we'll wait till the crops are off.
Yes, we are.
I didn't realize this. I talked to my brother Tom when they did a project on us years ago. The crop insurance paid for the corn that we took out. That's what I.
Can't imagine they're excited to write that check.
So I'm open, the board needs to discuss this. Do we want to ask the landowner? and
Subject
his insurance
to-
agent to proceed with that? Or
How many days are we away from harvest?
Any day. I think it'd be a travesty to take crop out right now.
What's that?
I think it'd be a travesty to take a crop down right now.
I agree.
I would agree. So
Coming from a farmer.
let it be the
Well, too,
consensus.
when everyone bid on the project, I mean, it
They
was
understood.
said that the crop
That
was
was
not
part of
coming
the
out.
scope.
So if we were to change that scope, is that,
Right. That would be
because
changed.
everyone bid it according to, the timeline of
Right.
they had to wait for the crop to be
Yeah.
out.
And as Jack said, and Michael, you guys are right there, as soon as next nice day, the beans could go away. And there's only, what, a third of an acre of the beans that are in the way?
Not even that. It's just a few feet.
I haven't calculated it, but yeah, whatever
the-
width is required to do
Problem
the
with taking
work.
the crop down now is you have all this regrowth that's gonna come up, and then you're gonna have more chemical to cover that for the next spring, so it'd really be a nightmare for the farmer.
Well, unless I hear differently, it's a consensus of the board that we not take the crop out prematurely.
It is, my position.
Okay, thank you, board members. Board members, do you have anything?
I talked with Dan Smith on the Stutler project, and I thought that was a county project, and it's not. It's a private contract, and the contractor came to the farm, unrolled the paper, and asked me to find the benchmark on the drawing. And we looked and looked and looked. We have no idea where the first point in that county ditch was sited, whether it was 200 feet down the road, where the pipe crosses under the road, or where with the cut-in. We have no idea. There is no benchmark on that technical drawing from Cruz.
Dave, don't you, at the TAC meeting, about, what, 2-3 months ago? I thought Dale laid out where they're gonna outlet into the Rosaboom, just north of Roger Love's house.
Yeah.
And the only thing they had to do was determine how deep he wanted to go in the ditch to achieve the elevation.
So what they'll do is, crews will go out, and when they're ready to go, he'll either set a benchmark or he'll set those construction stakes with the cut or fill, depending on where the pipe is. I mean, they're probably gonna need an engineer or surveyor to do the construction staking on that, would be my guess.
They gave the paperwork out, and 2 big sheets is all they got. They didn't get any technical thing. They got where the pipes go and the general elevation.
Yeah,
And he goes, what am I supposed to do with this?
well, they can easily ask Cruz to go out there and set a benchmark. I mean, they're the engineer.
They'll have to work with you and Tiffany, because they're gonna have to get permission to.
Outlet
what is it,
pipe.
$200, whatever it is, to
Right.
outlet into the Rosenberg.
Another thing, I was concerned about what Dan told me, that the owner of the property was waffling on price or cost. And they said, well, the county will pay a quarter, he'll pay a quarter. I said, you know what? The county's not paying nothing.
No,
And if they don't do it to county specs, and then they turn that drain over to the county for a arm of the rose boom, we'll probably not accept it because it probably won't be put into county
Right.
specs.
right. That was never the plan, to take that in as a regulated drain or an arm. That was a private drain that was going to be more of a mutual drain to help Smith to the south. I think Dale said that those quotes came in much more than they thought they were going to. Dale came in and asked about modifying some of the requirements. And I told Dale, you've got to go with what was designed in your details, what was approved. If you wanted to modify that, it still has to comply with our stormwater ordinance. And so Dale was going to look at that and see what they could do. But I have not heard anything.
I had made it clear to them the county was not gonna participate in that.
No. I mean, the highway department was going to do some work maybe on the
They're gonna
other
bring the
side of the
water
road.
from the west side of the road over to
And there's going to
that
be some pipes,
proposed
one or
pipe.
two under the road to help drain.
Yeah.
But that was highway, but the county, that was never
We're
an
not
option.
paying anything to improve somebody's property.
No,
value.
just so they could sell it and make money.
No, that's a hard no.
Yeah,
Right, okay.
But there was no depth of cut because it's gonna have to take about
Yeah.
2 feet from what I calculated by just looking at that drawing with a dozer off the top to get a wheel machine in there to get 7 feet deep.
so be happy to talk to Dale Cruz on that if the contractor needs me to, and tell him you need to establish some benchmarks so they can go off of, which obviously that's construction.
Well, it's incumbent on the people doing it, the landowner and the people affected, they're the ones that need to be carrying on this conversation. They can seek you guys' advice, but they're the
Right.
ones that need to.
I can help. I'm here to help them.
Right.
Right, but it became, it's financial on there, the burden's greater than they expected, and that's
Right.
not
And
our
it
problem.
was.
Right, it is not.
They
That's
need to
right.
put it in the way it was designed, they
That's
need a
right.
benchmark, and they need to leave the
Yeah.
county out of it.
Right,
Right.
okay, I think,
Thank you.
thank you. Any other business to come for the board from board members?
I guess they got into the Mary A. Gibbs on that perimeter tile there on 725.
That's what I heard, and I sent my team out to investigate that.
Well,
Yes.
according to Tiffany, they had the permit you didn't want them to outlet into the crossover pipe, so you wanted them to hook into the Gibbs.
Bury it.
Yeah, bury it. So, I was just thinking, if we're gonna camera something, it's open.
Now it's open, you can do it. We'll keep that in mind, yeah. Yep.
Is there anything else? Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. And unopposed, motion carries for adjournment. Mr. Dawes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Remember Albertsons?
Sorry.
please stand for the pledge to the flag and a prayer led by Greg Sturwalt. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We ask that you be with our servicemen and women, keep them safe as they protect us, be with their families and bring them home safe in your time. We ask that you be with us today so our decisions are fruitful in your eyes. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, everyone, for your attendance today, and those watching or listening in, thank you for that as well. Chair would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of our September 9th meeting and our executive session meeting, and then our joint meeting on the 16th with the council.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Approval of the claims. We looked at those.
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Unfinished business. Mr. Ayers, we have bridge number 39 and encroachment consent. That if we read that right, we
Yes,
can
you
save $900,000.
Yeah, yes, more or less. You've had two agreements for this. This is for a bridge replacement on Raceway Road. We signed an agreement back in May that actually was the agreement with Citizens to relocate their line. Part of that is they have an easement existing there. When we bought right away, we went out past beyond their easement. Typically what has to happen is we have to make them whole. We have to buy another easement and pay them to move their line out into the new easement. In this case, that was gonna be close to $1 million. So we talked to them about it and worked it out that with a little bit of work, I think the previous agreement you signed was for around $260,000. They can more or less leave most of it in place, but part of that is they're giving us permission to build part of our bridge in their easement. And that's what this is. And we waited several meetings for going back and forth if they're legal, and I think we got it the way we want it. Greg's comfortable with it, and I'm comfortable with it. So this allows us to build our bridge partly in their easement. That's what this document does.
And there will be a savings by doing this.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And so we appreciate that as well. This is, if we approve this, it's for the president to sign.
I'll move for approval, allowing President to sign.
Second.
Any other comments?
No, sir.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next one, you are.
We talked about this last meeting. This was for the traffic data that was going to allow us to access it online. After we discussed it at the last meeting, we went back to them and expressed your concern with entering into a 3-year agreement for anything technology related. And I told them that we were a little bit nervous about doing that and wanted to see what we could do because if you remember, they gave us 3 pricing programs, one a per year agreement, one a 3-year agreement with payment each year, and one a 3-year agreement with payment up front. So what I asked them was what it would be to get into a 1-year agreement and then do an option on the other 2. So if after the year we decided we want to stick with it, like you suggested, and then we're going to agree with the other 2. Unfortunately, the best they could come back to us with was a per year pricing. So they said, well, it's either, we can do it per year, which is 25 something a year. Plus, the best they could do was reduce the amount they would automatically increase it each year for inflation. So, which we were pretty disappointed in. We really kind of hoped they would be able to do better with their pricing structure.
How do you value this service personally? What do you think the degree of likelihood that it's utilized well for an extended period of time?
Because of the data they're collecting, I mean, worst case, and I don't want to say worst case scenario, if after a year somebody else comes along with a newer, shinier way to access the data, ultimately it's still the same data. And this is miles ahead of how we do it now. I think it will add a lot of efficiency for our work and for the sheriff's work. I don't think the data itself won't go stale in 3 years. So the means of gathering it might, but I don't think that's gonna be a big issue. I talked to another engineer in another county, and they purchased it also, and they went through kind of the same thought process, and we both kind of agreed that that is still gonna be good. And then after 3 years, if there's something better, then we can transfer to that. And there's not a lot of cost to do that. I mean, it's data that gets updated bi-weekly on the speeds and annually on the volumes. So it's pretty easy to transfer. At the end of 3 years, it's pretty easy to transfer that data over and hold on to it and then go to another system if we need to.
Your suggestion does a 3-year.
I would still recommend entering it. I'm disappointed they couldn't do better on their pricing. I still think it's a good value for the county, for us and the sheriff and the highway.
But it's a substantial savings to go the 3 years
Yeah.
and the upfront payment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the chances of it being obsolete in a year or two are pretty slim, because again, the data itself is gonna be what it is. It's just a matter of how we get it.
Yeah.
So I think that it's still a good gamble for us, if you're comfortable doing that. I'm with you on tech agreements, you never know.
Right.
And the terms and conditions on this were very lengthy. Greg went over them. I think somebody there fancies himself a lawyer, but it's like 27 pages of terms and conditions. But there is one issue. They made the changes that we asked for, two of the 3 changes that we asked for. One was with the venue, if it got challenged. One was, I don't remember what one of them was, but one of them, I'll let Greg speak for himself, but we always like to see a clause there that says we're able to terminate without
Right.
cause.
Right.
And they didn't agree to
like
that. They didn't agree to that. So what they came back and proposed is a 30-day right to terminate with 30-day notice with cause, right? So I don't know, Greg, how comfortable you are with that or not.
Because it's gonna get.
Yeah. Okay.
Question, Mr. President?
Sure.
John, the county you referred to, are they about our size?
Johnson.
And were they satisfied with the results they were getting?
Yeah, they signed on a month or 2 ago, so they've already got their agreement. I don't know where they are in terms of getting the data, but we were going back and forth, and they were demoing it to us both at the same time and kind of talking to us, so we went back and forth a little bit. He kind of concurs with me on the value and whether or not it will be obsolete in a year, I think is a very low risk.
Do you have the funding to do this?
Yes, we can find it.
I'll move for approval then.
For the 3-year commitment.
Yes.
Second.
I don't want to speak for the sheriff on funding.
Yeah. It's been moved and seconded. Any other discussion? Sheriff's fine, okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Sheriff, thank you. Appreciate that. Next item on our agenda is the opioid settlement funds, and as you recall, last meeting, the Cummins Mental Health came in and asked us if we would provide matching monies for them so that they could enter into an agreement for their transportation service. They did go, we had several questions about that. Mila communicated back to them those questions we had. They went to several other places to request funding for that as well, and were turned down by all of those, as I understand it. Also, we funded we had a task force, if you recall, for the opioid monies that we've had in the past, and one of the ways that task force recommended that we use that money was for the drug task force in the county, which went away a few years ago, but was reestablished by the prosecutor's office. And so that funding for that at that time helped them. If we would give the prosecutor's office monies from this drug task force money, I don't mean drug task, from the opioid monies that we're getting, that would help them keep that program going as well. And I've talked to the prosecutor about it. He is willing to accept any monies we would move that way. So we have kind of those two competing things. We're looking at the Cummins Mental Health ask was $108,153 to be the match for them. The opioid settlement funds that we'll be getting are $109,429.07. So we need to decide what we would like to do with that.
Mr. President, would you refresh my memory? The opioid settlement, was that a 10 or 20-year agreement?
It was
that the-
multiple
The
years.
drug companies put so much in a year
Right.
until it's
18 years.
completed?
So we're gonna be
It was
getting
18
more
years.
monies
I mean,
in
18,
27 and 28, but
Don't know the
it's,
amounts.
we don't know the amounts and it's reduced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of them have already declared bankruptcy, so that kind of skews all the
The attorneys
numbers.
have cherry-picked a lot of those dollars on the
Okay.
settlement, I'm sure.
Okay.
No disrespect to Mr. Wolf.
I guess another comment I would make to kind of help us think about this. The request from Cummins was, and Myler, Todd, help me on this, was a transportation service. They really didn't want to, they didn't want to work with another transportation service in the county that we're kind of the bank for on that, and so on. And they felt like having their own was the better way for them to go. They requested in the funds 2 drivers. And I think they're willing to drop that to 1
That's
driver,
correct. Yeah.
which would change their ask amount, I think,
Cut it in half.
cut it down to considerable amount. So perhaps we could, and I don't know what that new number is. I don't know if you know what that is, Mila, or
Half.
any.
I would guess around 54,000.
Okay, so we could perhaps give the drug task force half of this money and Cummins half, something like that. Would that be a reasonable thing to consider? That would give them both over 50,000 each.
Question, Mr. President.
Sure.
So where does this one driver, what vehicle do they use?
I think that's in their proposal as well. Right.
I think the proposal was for 2 leased vehicles and then the expenses for 2 drivers and maintenance on it.
Where do they get the vehicle?
That's their problem.
It's leased.
That's not our problem.
Okay.
It's leased.
Okay.
It would be like Enterprise that we use.
Okay.
We're not gonna restrict them.
Right.
We're gonna give them the money for their specific cause and let them
Right.
worry about those problems.
I personally wouldn't mind if they piggybacked with Enterprise. If they want to try to get some vehicle through there.
Yeah.
That
So-
sounds complicated.
So with that, I guess those comments,
I personally agreeable to just splitting the proceeds between the 2 entities.
Yeah,
okay.
I agree.
Chair would entertain a motion
That
for
was in the
that.
form of a motion of splitting the dollars equally between, Ann's got a question.
I was just wondering if we could do like a 2-year time frame and then reevaluate in 2 years, just so that
This is a
They have-
one-time,
For
they
which?
have like,
For both of them? Or,
yeah, for, if you wanna do 50% for this year and next year. And then we can reevaluate for the years after that,
oh, I see,
because we've already received this year's funds,
yes.
and if they're just now getting
Continue
the
with these
match.
2 entities into next year
Yeah, if they're
as
just
well.
now applying for the grant, it won't come into effect until next year. So
Okay.
it'd help if we did at least
Okay,
a full year.
okay, that's
We don't
fine.
need the money until July 2026.
does the money come at the same predictable time,
No, last year they came in May, this year it came in August,
nor the amounts?
and the amounts were way different. Just keep that in mind.
So-
Go ahead. Bob, what do you think?
I mean, the ask is a one-time, and I guess
Yeah.
I'm maybe misunderstanding.
Now, their ask is a one-time, and it's a 2-year grant that starts July 2026 and ends June 30th of 2028 for
But their
Cummins.
total ask is, we're adjusting what they're asking.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
It's,
right.
It's a one-time ask for them. Yeah.
But it's a one-time request, but is it, in other words, 54,000, then next year, 54,000, 54,000?
No.
No, that won't be that because we don't know what the dollars will be coming in from the opioid.
my
Oh, okay.
motion is going to be to split the $109,429.07. Is that the right number?
Yes, that's the right number.
Equally between the drug task force and Cummins Mental Health.
Did I second that?
Yes.
So that was actually verbalized, so
Yeah.
we'll take another second.
Yeah.
Or not.
You will second that?
Yeah, I do.
Are we okay with that?
Okay.
Are we
Good.
clear with that? Did everybody out there understand what we
Clear as
did?
mud.
All right, okay. Thanks. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. President, who will
Yes.
track this?
And we'll
We're gonna
track
write
it.
them a couple checks
And we'll,
Yeah.
and we'll track it. Yeah.
Okay.
and hope they spend it wisely.
I'm sure they will, actually. I think they will. Both are good organizations. Thank you. That's good. New business. Appeal of Washington Township Assistance Action, a Majestic Mason. Is that in, are you in the room, please? Hi, good morning. Are you Majestic?
Yes.
All right.
Sorry.
That's a nice name. Please step forward. Introduce yourself. Tell us your name and address if you would.
Yes, thank you. My name is Majestic Mason. Address is 8124 Medwood Street, apartment 204, Avon, Indiana, zip code 46123.
And
Good morning. My name is Becky Rackley, and I am an investigator with Washington Township Trustee's Office.
okay, thank you.
And I am Ashley Black. I'm the deputy trustee at Washington Township.
Okay, thank you. Now, if I read all this correctly, you're here, we are the commissioners or the appeal board, apparently, for the township assistance, that action, and you had asked the township for assistance, and they denied that, and so you're appealing that decision to us. Is that correct? Okay. So with those brief comments, why don't you go ahead and maybe explain, and then you folks can comment as well. Okay, go ahead, please.
Indeed, recently I was fired from, well, I can't say recently, within about 60, 70 days. Fired from about 2 jobs due to a medical condition that I've been trying to get a diagnosis for. Recently, again, I went into the township trustee's office and asked for assistance. They denied me due to documents that they requested. Based off of the document that they requested was a doctor's statement based off of my condition and my ability to work, which was provided. And they denied me, saying that it wasn't enough, which I was kind of confused because this is what they requested per their statement.
That's all you want to say?
Outside of that as well, I'm also just a little kind of confused and a little hurt as well because I came into the office to try to get the appeal information, and Miss Ashley Black over here, as well as the front desk receptionist, were very dismissive when I asked for information how to appeal and instructions, and they kept saying, "Do you know how to read?" And I felt like that was a little offensive. Because yes, I did read the paperwork, but if I have questions, you should be able to help guide me in that. And she also informed me as well, she didn't feel comfortable being enclosed in a room with me. So I felt a little bit discriminated at some point in time.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Go ahead.
Majestic.
So the information, she had been terminated from 2 jobs within a approximately 30-day period. The paperwork that she submitted did not indicate that she couldn't work. It indicated that she was set for some testing. Nothing prior to giving us any information prior to that she couldn't work as to why she'd been terminated. The paperwork she submitted from her jobs simply stated that she had, it was attendance. So we issued denial for termination. It's a 60-day denial.
So, I'm gonna ask some questions.
Well, Mr. President, you know, as you well know, our only job is most ministerial, and that is to decide whether they follow the procedure, not to, we can't take action other than just, did they follow the procedure or didn't they?
Gotcha. Now, just so everybody knows, yes, your only duty is you do not weigh the evidence and you do not make a determination based upon the evidence. Your sole duty is to, does the township have rules and procedures for determining eligibility? And did they follow those rules and procedures? That's your only determination. You're not weighing the evidence one way or another.
Okay.
Thank you, Justin, with that, so.
Yes, Justin.
I would also like to state that it was more than 30 days, which was falsified information that she wrote on the report, as well as my doctor's note did state my working conditions, which she overlooked.
We have in our possession from the Township Trustees Office their eligibility standards and guidelines. And great, Counselor. I've read through those, I did, and so on, but I would have to say to you, I did not go and investigate any paperwork that they may have had in their office that they followed all of them. And so my question really is, do we make a decision today, or should we do some kind of further investigation to make sure that they followed that and go from there? Or not? I mean, these are their procedures, they're lengthy.
Yeah, that's right. You can ask them a question, did they follow their procedures?
I also have some of the paperwork as well that was provided to the trustee's office, if you would like to look at my doctor's statement.
Well, yeah,
You can ask representatives from the township, did you follow your rules and procedures?
okay, I'll ask you, did you follow your procedures?
Yes, we did.
Right. I mean, that's the only proof we have. Their word, so.
Right.
Well,
It's
as,
a strange process, but
It's
It is.
tough.
it's just a.
And this is the second one we've dealt with since I've become a commissioner.
As Bob said, it's a ministerial function.
Yeah.
as always, you can reapply.
Right, right.
I see what,
They denied me until November.
right, November
So-
2nd, that's when you can
Right.
reapply.
Yeah.
And
Go
also,
ahead.
have you been referred to Family Promise then as well?
Yes,
That
and
was
they
where
also
the
denied me
referral
for
came from.
assistance. They said
Okay.
they have low resources as of right now.
Any,
Mr. President, I'll make the motion to support the township trustee that they did follow their procedure.
I will second that. Any other discussion? All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Aye. So it's 2-1 opposed. What do we do now?
That's
it?
That's the end of your, that's it.
Okay.
You're done.
Okay. All right. So what direction does that give the trustees office? Since our motion was,
Can I also just say that her rent has been paid? I don't know how she has paid it, but she has paid it.
good, that's good.
Barely due to the activities that I had to do to pay it, so no thanks to them.
Got it.
we're done. We don't give any instructions to them.
Okay, all right,
I don't know the process after this point.
okay.
She can reapply after the November, I believe, 2nd date, and then we can go from there.
By then, I will be
Everything.
evicted from my apartment, so it doesn't matter. I
Yeah.
probably won't be in Hendricks County anymore. But I do appreciate your time. And again, I just feel like this was very hard time for doctor statements that they requested that I did provide, that she refused to admit that it was in there for my working conditions.
Question, Mr. President?
Sure.
So, in a case like this, how can someone like yourself, is there any way to speed up the process? So a person like this could apply before November the 2nd?
I would say if she can present documents stating that her condition, she's not able to work, and it specifically states that, would we be able to see her sooner?
We can make the exception.
That would speed up the process.
Yeah.
And this is what I would like, if I can provide this document and you can review it for clarification, because I also came into their trustee's office and asked them for clarification what document they were referring, because the doctor's note that I provided does state my working condition. That I need
Unfortunately, that's
occasional
not the
time
role
off.
this
Yeah,
body
yeah.
plays. We're ultimately.
Right. We
But
don't,
how do I have clarification on what document they're requesting if I did provide the exact?
So we would
document
need
that
a
they were-
documentation that
that
says
would go
your
back to
condition,
them.
that you
Yeah.
cannot work, not just a specific day, but you cannot work, period, due to that condition.
It's not that I can't work, period. It's due to my condition is occasional throughout the month, so it's unexpected, which is what they wrote per my doctor's statement. And she also informed you of,
And I don't know that this is the
Yeah,
place
that-
for further discussion.
Right.
We've made that ruling, and I would just comment, and I hope my comment's correct, but this is the second appeal this body's heard
Yeah.
specific to the Washington Township. And I've
Okay.
heard no other appeals from any other townships within the
Yeah.
county in my illustrious 9 months.
The reason I voted the way I did was because I read your document and so on, but I had no idea.
I don't know.
Other than your comment of, we followed it, and short of that, that's why I voted the way I did. So I really
Same.
don't know.
And it's a tough
Yeah.
position they
Thank
put
you.
us in.
So anyway, that's our decision. Thank you for appealing to us in that regard, and we wish you the best. We do, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
So our next item on our agenda is a proclamation for Domestic Violence Awareness and Prevention Month. Is Jared Haskell here?
It's actually Jenny Henderson.
Right.
I'm filling in.
You're filling in.
I'm filling in.
I mean,
Jared's out of school
you
today,
could
so.
be Jared, but
Yeah.
that's all right. All right. I'm not gonna read this whole proclamation that we, three of us have signed, and the county seal is on this, but it's Proclamation Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Now therefore, in recognition of the impact that domestic violence has on the health and well-being of our community, we, the Board of Commissioners of the County of Hendricks, Indiana, do hereby proclaim October 2025 as Domestic Violence Awareness and Prevention Month. In witness whereof, we, the Board of Commissioners, have set our hands and caused seal of the county to be affixed this 23rd day of September 2025.
Thank you for being an
Thank
advocate.
you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Jenny, thank you.
Thank you.
Brad Butler. Mr. Butler, please come forward. Funding for Hazelwood Fire Station development. Let me make a couple of comments, if you would, Brad. And do we need them to introduce themselves with their address, I guess?
Yeah, they'll introduce themselves here in a second if you want to. So,
Tell us your name and address.
Okay.
Not that we don't know you, but I don't know your address.
well, my name is Brad Butler. I'm the acting trustee right now currently for Liberty Township. in the southern part of Hendricks County, Indiana. My address is 487 Martha Eunice Lane in Clayton. My office is now located at 10042 South County Road 0 in Hazelwood. That's where the Township Government Center is now located. The offices are there. And I'll let this gentleman introduce himself.
Sure. Toby Winiger, I'm with the Etika Group. My address is 2215 Deerwood Parkway in Greenwood, Indiana. So we're here on behalf of the trustee to support that. So.
Yep, I'm Chris Tragesser, also with Etika Group.
Thank you. Brad, let me make a couple of comments before you
Floor
start.
is yours, sir.
So for everybody's edification, I guess, when the Liberty Township is the southwest part of Hendricks County, and when the developments began in the southwest part of the county at 39 and 70, there were TIP districts established as those developments began, the big boxes that are down in that part of the county. And the agreements with the developers on those TIF areas was really a 50-50 split from the TIF monies. There was one TIF area that was done in that part of the county that was not a split. It was totally to the county, and the monies from that TIF area were to be used for public safety, which included fire and EMS type services and so on. And so the funding for this would come through that mechanism. Kind of a technicality, whether it's, quote, taxpayer money or not, it's really monies coming from the developers in that area through that TIF. And your financial advisor is the same as the county's financial advisor, and I have talked to him about this, and he talked me through that again. So I may have missed a word or two, but I think I've said it correctly, what occurred with that. So, Brad, go ahead.
Okay, first of all, I want to start off by thanking everybody here. You guys have been absolutely wonderful support for Liberty Township. From where we started, when I took office, 3 years ago, to today is crazy. We got some of the better equipment to the south. We started out, when I took over that department, it was a complete volunteer department. They had nobody on staff. We ran basically, there were 16 or 17 people that were actively involved. We were missing runs like crazy. I took it over. We went to a paid part-time standby, which we've increased that now to where we're covering about 87 to 90% of the times. There's a few holes that we still have to fill in. We're working on that this year. One of the plans we have this year, just to give you an update of where we're at, but before we start on this, and I'll let them guys talk about the station room model. Currently, right now, we are only housed at Clayton, which the building in Clayton is owned by the town of Clayton. It's not owned by the township. Right now, currently, I've put around $40,000 worth of taxpayers' money into that station to redevelop it to where they can stay there. Because currently, before that, we had no bathrooms, we had no kitchen, we had nothing. It was a volunteer department, not housing full-time members. Currently, we're running 3 people per shift right now on a part-time basis, and I'll get back to that here in a second. We do have an ALS ambulance now that's in service as much as we possibly can keep it, and that's helped out a lot with Plainfield. Currently, we've took it from them helping us 125 runs to now we're going to their 125 times. So because they're getting pulled into Marion County, we're backfilling from Liberty to Monrovia, Stylesville, Coatesville. We make runs almost anywhere in the south part of the county with the ALS ambulance. We had multiple saves so far. I couldn't even tell you how many, all good things. With that said, the plan is this year we're gonna hire 2 full-time firefighters with benefits. That's the plan where we're going. We're trying to feel, financially, we're floating, but we're not where we need to be. And we'll get to, we'll cross that bridge in the future with you guys. We're good up until probably 28, 29. Then after that, we're gonna have to figure out an exit strategy of where we go at this point because our funds are not high enough to maintain a full-time department, staffing a full engine crew, whatever. So the plan this year is to hire 2 full-time firefighter paramedics one per shift for 24 hours so we don't have that many holes, and then backfill part-time personnel instead of paid by standby. In other words, we have problems filling weekends, we have problems filling holidays because people have other jobs, they don't want to be there, so they don't sign up. This way, if we make them part-time, we tell them you're required to work these many days, they have to be there. So it's kind of like you get paid, we pay you to do it. So anyway, that's where we're moving with that. With the Hazelwood Station, I now have ownership of the Hazelwood Station. It was a volunteer department station. It was built, if you remember back in the GRP days, when Garfield Park was supposed to come in at 3970. The volunteers at that time built the station with the intention to put a ladder device inside of it. So they built an add-on addition back then with funds that they raised from their fish fry and different things. And somebody had left them some money to build the station in case GRP Park took off, development at 3970. That station's sitting there. There's 8 acres roughly. That's actually on the edge of the TIF. So it's right across the street from the TIF. That is now township property. It's being transferred from a 501 to the township. That should happen probably within the next 24 to 48 hours. The agreement's been signed. We're just waiting on the title company to finish up a few things, but it's been done. That will become part of the ownership of the township. That'll be our first station because we technically right now don't own a firehouse as a township. My office is now currently located there. I've moved my office into it. It's now become the Liberty Township Government Center. So if you think back in 29, I know, Brad, you weren't on here, but you guys were when we came in and asked for a feasibility study. You guys approved that to RDC. Ithaca got involved at that time, and they did the study on where to put stations in Liberty, what would fit, and we took the station that we currently would have access to, an asset, and developed it to a firehouse that could be functioning with the caveat of having and going through the EMA, the emergency management director. We talked to her, I talked to her, and I talked to Commissioner Dawes about putting there really isn't a location on the south part of the county as emergency management for like a shelter. So part of this plan that we're wanting to do this refab of Hazelwood also includes building a building that we can be used for that with a full kitchen, open concept type building to where you could house people in case there was an emergency in the south part of the township where you need to have somebody go there. So anyway, that's where we're at. We started this back in June of 24 and we presented this to RDC. They've heard this. Now we're with you guys. So we're hoping that we can look at a way to help fund this project. We're just focusing right now on the funding of the Hazelwood Station, getting that thing funded. I know there's some other plans of possibly a station in the Belleville area as time goes and as growth happens. But that's kind of on the back burner right now because we can still function right now currently with the money I put into the Clayton station. That station will remain there until something changes. So, but I will let Toby explain to you the feasibility and where we're at. And so if you have any questions for me, feel free to ask.
Okay, I'll give you just a kind of an overview of the process really quick here. So we did, last year we did a couple different things. We did the location analysis, but really in particular with the Hazelwood Station. So we started with a kind of a complete facility assessment. So we assessed the condition of all the systems, where the building stands. In the report, we provided a summary of here's the things that you need to do just to get the building kind of up to a standard. The second part of that really had a lot more to do with the functionality and the needs of that space. So it's a lot of open spaces right now. There's not really living spaces for firefighters. There's not offices. There's no showers. And so essentially we came up with a plan to redevelop, reconfigure that building into what would be a functional fire station that meets kind of modern standards. So that's upgrades of the systems, completely new renovation. It's going to be a significant renovation project, a lot of complexity, but we feel like we have a good plan in place to make that happen. So it has good bones as far as the exterior of it. It just needs a lot of work on the interior. So.
And my understanding, again, from our financial advisor, the TIF dollars can only be used for capital dollars, not for operating dollars.
Right.
And so that fits with what your ask is, quite frankly. I have no idea of the amount of money that might be in that TIF at this time. And
I don't know off the top of my head.
Right, but anyway, so.
And those TIF dollars were generated specifically from the developments
Yes.
in that area.
Yep.
Right. And then
Actually, it's on the west side, which is the Sunbeam development side, and it's two structures that are in there that are not a split with them. So I think that, if I'm remembering correctly, that's what that is.
Question, Mr. President?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brad, you've done a really good job. So the redevelopment commission is supportive.
Yes.
Yeah.
From what I got feedback from them, yes.
So for you guys, is it on-site sewer?
Yes, we'd have to upgrade the sewer, probably
Okay.
move some of that, and then, I know as we did the study, since it's modernized to housing, you're gonna have to put sprinklers in, that means changing the water tank that's there currently. We have a storage tank for water. Since we use it for fire, but we'd have to upgrade that tank to provide sprinkler system to the building.
But you'll have
make us
to
take
have
up.
in other words, a new septic tank, a new septic field.
Correct, yeah. I mean, we may be able to use the system that's there.
Okay.
But we may
We'd
have to
have to-
expand it.
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be bringing everything, there's not any public utilities, so we'll have to do everything on site.
Well, Brad, the fire tax rate right now, are you gonna have to go before, in next August and ask for an increase there? Or-
We currently, right now, when I first took over, our township budget was 400,000 prior to the previous township. This year, my budget is 1.7 million. The tax rate is staying flat this year. It's not gonna go up at all. We've asked for multiple increases with the state, doing all the hoops that they ask you to do for like growth. We applied for levy growth because we had never applied for that before. So we got a levy growth, I think it was $75,000 last year. One thing that we did prior to me taking over, because it was a volunteer department, we hired a billing company now. So this year alone, our billing revenue, because we make over 1,000 runs, our billing revenue this year is around $260,000 of income. So we're incoming a lot. I mean, we're still, right now, currently, we have about $1 million in the bank account total, but we're going down about 200,000 every year because we don't have enough income to, match that. So we are kind of progressively, slowly going backwards. But as growth happens, we're hoping that that'll help push us forward. But right now, we're at 10 cents on the fire. That's with fire and Cume Fund.
Right, comment, under Senate Bill 1, because you guys are mostly agriculture there. Agriculture comes out really well.
Yes,
under Senate
it
Bill 1.
does.
So that there shouldn't be a pushback necessarily
No.
from agriculture, because
No.
they will not be, but
No.
the county council is gonna have to.
Yeah, the only thing that makes me nervous with the Senate Bill 1 for us, is the local money we get from the county each month, the local income tax.
County council will take
Yeah.
care of you.
Okay, well,
They'll take care
well,
of it.
like I said, you guys have done astronomical help with us. I mean, we just received our check this year for what I call the fire EMS grant, which you guys are continuing, other counties are not, because it was a sunset law, did not get heard, so it kind of died in-house this year. But you guys are stepping above and beyond with that fire money, and that helps. I mean, that, $175,000 pays for a lot of equipment, a lot of turnout gear. Turnout gear is expensive, fire equipment's expensive. The ambulance we were supposed to get in '26 is $420,000 for a new ambulance, and they're 5-year replacements.
And one of the TIF monies, not from this, but
From the
another
Walmsley.
TIF, from the Walmsley side
Pay for
or
that, yeah.
Ambrose side, which is east side, funded one of your
Yes.
vehicles,
Yes.
which was
Yeah.
$500,000.
So right now, you guys have bought a Frontline app engine that we bought was used, but it was a newer to us. That's a great engine. We're currently using it right now. We refurbed an engine. So we have 3 good Frontline engines. Right now we have 1 good ambulance, which is our primary 105. Then we also have a backup ambulance that we kept and had refurbed on the county, or not so much on the county, but on the township. So we have really good equipment, and we're really moving forward to where we need to be, but we need a house.
So we
need a home.
We intentionally wanted to make sure that the redevelopment commission was was communicating with you.
Oh, Brad has been in front of them
Oh, yeah.
several times,
Mhm.
so.
And we will again too.
Todd attends most of those meetings, I attend most of those meetings as well, so.
Yeah.
Commissioners, one thing I'd like to
Sure,
add too is,
please.
when we initiated this study with trustee, most municipalities' capital improvement plan is, we need new. We want to scrape it off and put it into a dumpster. And I think it really demonstrates the efficiency of trustee, that he had an open mind and said, what positive can we have to come out of this building?
Amen.
We're doing it for a fraction of
Amen.
the money. So I think that's very
Yeah,
good on
it's-
trustee.
I mean, yeah, you're looking at a brand new firehouse today, you're in the $15 to $16 million range easily, just to scratch. If we remodel this station, we're gonna be way ahead of the ballgame because the station's already there,
Yeah.
you know.
I applaud you for that, Brad.
So you're asking for approval for funding.
Yes.
We don't know what the number is.
Correct.
Quite
And,
frankly.
yeah.
So it's kind of a philosophical approval. The
Mhm.
money would come through the TIF, so that's where it would come from. So we don't really know the exact numbers at this point in time. I guess you're here to get our blessing to say, keep moving ahead.
Yeah, yeah, we just need your guys' blessing so we can go back to RDC and
Right.
see if they can find a way to scratch somebody.
Right, okay.
And that, to clarify, this will be from the TIF, not taxpayers.
Correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
Because that,
Yeah.
I will get phone calls.
Yes, no, it won't, this should not affect, like I said, the 1.7 million this year budget that we're asking for, that is the rate on that's 10 cents for the township rate. And we were at 9.56, I think, last year, and right now we're gonna be at 10.
What was the rate when you took over?
7.9, I think, 7.8.
Okay.
So.
So there's some history there that I'm not as familiar with.
Correct.
When you went through that fire district, at least evaluation.
Fire territory.
Was it territory or?
Yeah, territory.
Okay.
Territory.
They tried to
Yeah.
fire territory
And
when I took
that
office.
was not approved
Right.
by,
Nor well received, if I
No,
recall.
not ever received at all. And,
yeah.
yeah.
And,
The, how
So
do I will say this as an individual commissioner, not speaking for these two. A goal that I would have would be to see a district formed, quite frankly. But that's
where I'm into.
a different entity,
There's
quite
a,
frankly.
I've read both of them. I've been through the fire territory thing because I was being elected at the time. That fell through. Fire district makes more sense because that's kind of, in my opinion, that's where the state is heading, to get away from fire territories, more to
My
districts.
understanding. Yep.
There's more local control with a district than there is territory. And it kind of, a district, as I spoke to you briefly about that, is the fire district, and that's something we would like, I'd love to have a conversation with the three of you one of these days over that, of forming a fire district in Liberty.
My understanding is the fire district puts the three of us
In charge.
in charge.
Yes, it does. But it also, the money that's generated in the fire district stays in the fire district. It doesn't go to a fire territory. So they can annex all they want from the east,
Oh.
but the fire money stays in the
When you use that
district,
word,
not
now I
in the
know where you're
territory.
going.
Because there's a lot of conversation out there about us merging with the territory, and I'm like, time out.
Yeah.
I don't want any part of that. So,
Okay.
You want to vote or consensus, Mr. President?
I still have some struggles to the precedents this may set, even though it is TIF dollars.
I hear you.
What message are we sending to other volunteer township fire departments? What's the message we're sending to Washington Township that's certainly a much bigger, more populous, but they are in an unbelievable or bind with what Senate Bill 1 did to them. I'm
I hear you. Yeah.
That's well
concerned
put.
about the precedents that this may set, even though it's different in some respects that it would be specific to a TIF. It sounds like it would be a singular one-time capital outlay from that.
Right.
I'm a little cautious.
They will have to go back to the RDC from here, and our Greg Garitas, Financial Services, FSG or whatever it is, would be the ones that would be working with the RDC to figure out the funding then through that.
But
Yeah.
nobody has any sense of how many dollars we're
I-
having a discussion about today.
No, we don't.
It would all be a shot in the dark because building cost and, we're,
Well,
Counselor, should we have a motion or is a consensus to move forward okay?
Yeah, all you're saying is a consensus that you support them moving forward. And that's kind of all you can do at this.
Okay, okay, all right,
comment, Mr.
yes,
Wicker's comments are really right on
yes.
target because it would affect, Franklin Township.
Sure.
And Clay Township, and Eel River Township, and Union Township, because they all are kind of in the same boat you're in. So whatever we would do here, because at one time,
well,
But
the question is, like, we're talking about Washington Township, which is the town of Avon, and your Guilford Township's Plainfield, you're talking Brown and Lincoln or Brownsburg. Their TIFs are ran by their cities and towns, right? I mean, Plainfield has control over the Hinkie development now, correct, RDC wise? So any money that's generated there, Plainfield has to hear it. It doesn't come before our county RDC because that TIF is in the county, not in an incorporated city.
I don't know. That's a legislative question, isn't it?
I don't know the answer to that, yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the question is.
yeah.
Because I know any development that happens in Plainfield that has to do with Hinkie, now it's going to RDC in Plainfield, the Rural Development Commission through the town.
The other comment, Bob, that you made about the other townships, I'll just call it on the west side.
Right.
If you think about a district could involve that whole area.
It could.
Quite frankly. And that would allow further development then of a fire EMS program on the west side of the county that basically runs by volunteer services now. And it could help them.
I did talk to the fire folks at North Salem, Eel River Township.
Right.
And in some of these communities, the town doesn't want to contribute to the
Right.
township, but they were very complimentary of us because they have a brand-new ambulance at North Salem.
Right.
And somehow we had helped them.
That compliment should have gone to the council, I think.
Well,
But,
yeah, that came through the TIF as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
and I've had this same discussion with the EMA director, County EMA Director Debbie, at a few meetings I've been with her. And Hendricks County is kind of an odd, being so close to the city of Indianapolis, it's kind of an odd duck because we do not have a countywide EMS. So the rural doesn't have a countywide funded EMS system like you do in Putnam, Owen, Greene, Morgan. Everywhere else, there's always something that takes that burden off of the fire side of it. So you have a volunteer fire department that's trying to cover a EMS world of 97% run load. So we're having like 1,200 to 1,300 runs out of Liberty. If we were volunteer, we'd miss 1,200 runs because nobody'd be available. I mean, everybody's going boating the weekend or whatever. There's only maybe 3 or 4 fire runs a year where volunteer firefighters have to respond to that run. But 98% of those runs are EMS, chest pain, heart attack, strokes, cardiac arrest, PI entrapments. In this county, we don't have that in the rural area. So when you have a PI entrapment in Stylesville, there's nobody there. If the 2 people that are on the ambulance that day that volunteer their time, that ambulance is not responding. Then you're waiting on Plainfield to get there, or somebody from Putnam County Operation Life, which is a county-run also operations. So we're kind of in that weird, what do we do? And EMS side of it is the most, as former Chief Tragerser here will tell you from Pike Township, that's a very expensive funding operation when you're funding the EMS side of things.
But one thing we can never lose sight of, and that is those departments are very proud. And they don't
Absolutely,
lose their autonomy.
100%. I spent 7 years at Clayton Volunteer and 4 years at Liberty as the EMS chief, and believe me, I know. And I take pride in it too. That's why I really feel great about doing this station remodel, because people I came on with, the older gentlemen that have passed and gone on, they built this station. They foreseen that we needed this back in 1992 when GRP parked it. So they built this nice station that would house 3 ladder trucks. Most volunteer departments don't think that way. And so I give them kudos and, you know, so I appreciate it. But like I said, it's tough. I mean, we're trying to fund it with the EMS side of it, and that's what I'm focusing on is the EMS side. And trying to get that coverage on that ALS ambulance.
So what's the pleasure of the commissioners? Or can we give a consensus for them to at least move ahead? It'll
My
take it
personal
back to the
opinion is that
RDC.
they're only gonna use out of that pot.
Yeah.
They're not gonna
Right.
dig into
Right.
other people's.
But I hear what Brad is saying, and we've had comments to us of concern from outside folks about is taxpayer money gonna go to this? And if
Yes,
it does,
absolutely.
then other areas might ask us for taxpayer money as well. So that's why I made the comments earlier about the TIF and so on.
Very appropriate, yes.
While it would be helpful, I have very serious reservations of the precedents that would be set. And I respect that those tip dollars are coming from that geographical area, but the other volunteer fire stations, you know, they weren't in a geographical location
Right, they don't
to
have that.
benefit from that, so is it,
They
I
don't
mean,
have-
and there's no fairness, but
That's why I made the comment about
I'm gonna
a
struggle.
district
yes.
that could be formed.
I don't wanna go into
bigger.
fire business, because
No.
I think that one's very complicated with
I
some interesting
understand.
personalities,
I
and
understand.
nobody really
Yeah.
wants to let go of their territory.
Right.
So I don't wanna be in that.
Oh,
business.
believe me, I've seen
Whole
that.
different
Yeah, I-
ballgame.
You gotta see when we combined the 4 departments into
imagine.
Liberty Township Fire Department in 2006.
Can't imagine the personality in that
We went
business.
from 4 chiefs to 1 chief,
So-
yeah.
Bob, what you're thinking, let them move ahead?
I think let them move ahead because you're only gonna use, and I understand what Brad's saying because North Salem, although North Salem told me they have been able to cover like 98% of their runs.
Right.
And I don't know about Liston, I know Pittsburgh helps Liston, and there's some back and forth
Yeah.
there too.
Right.
Yeah.
But if
Right.
you're only using out of that pot,
Right.
I don't see a problem.
Yeah,
Oh, there will be one, but
and
Yeah.
I feel like Bob, I'm in agreement.
I would say reluctantly, if there's a no vote in the future, it would probably more likely come from here, but I don't want to get in the way of what could be a worthy thing for you
Well, I
to
can see where,
pursue.
I can see where it
Right.
shows.
It's not solving the bigger problem, it's solving an immediate
Right.
stopgap.
Yeah.
And
And this is
creating
gonna be,
some
I mean,
difficulties for what we do.
I think in the next 2 years, a lot of things are gonna change. Depends on how things go, which direction we go legislatively, but
Thank you, Brad.
you're welcome.
Thank you, guys.
I'll keep you informed.
Keep moving it, I know you will, yeah.
Okay, so our next step will just be RDC, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
perfect, thank you. Thank you for your guys' time.
You bet. All right, our next item on the agenda, if I'm reading this correctly, is Catherine Haynes, who I do not see here, but it's a subscription. Pardon?
Contract.
It's a contract for, where did I put my notes? It's a software subscription agreement that they basically are moving ahead with, that I think they've used in the past as well. And we need to approve this. It's a $4,000 implementation fee and $6,240 for 8 judicial licenses.
And this is, we've done this in the past.
Yes, my understanding is we
Move for
have.
approval.
Second.
And I think, I didn't look in here, Ann,
It's in there.
this,
It's in the packet.
is it my signature only?
I think so, yeah.
Yes.
I think it is. So you're
Let my
approving
motion
me to sign it?
include
All
the
right,
president sign.
second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Okay, another, Nikki Lawson. Another subscription, or not a subscription, but another
So-
professional services.
Yep, professional service
Mhm.
agreement
Yep.
with Xsoft, who is
Right.
our CAMA vendor, and they have been working for several years and have created a very user-friendly website link that a lot of other counties are using, and I think we're ready to jump into this, and I'm just asking for your blessing. I do have the money in my current account to pay for the setup, and it was already part of my budget next year for the continuation of, and I have discussed it with Doug. I did send it to Greg. I don't know where he's at with it. He's the last one I haven't heard from yet.
This is kind of, my note to myself says, citizen engagement application. So it
Yeah.
allows the public to go online and to find out more information.
It's gonna
et
provide a
cetera.
lot of information for, I think it's really gonna help for public education and just transparency. They're gonna be able to file their appeals. I'm hoping to do some online questionnaires and a lot of the things that we have to mail out to try to get back for information. This should make it a lot easier for them just to be able to go on, fill it out, and then it automatically comes to us. So, and it's just gonna be, I think, better for everybody.
Question, Mr. President?
Sure.
So Nikki, the people who contacted me, and there were quite a few, why do my taxes go up? Why are my taxes so high? They will be able to go online here and it'd be somewhat of an explanation for that.
Probably not, no.
Not-
Those are gonna be questions that they're gonna have to individually talk with
Oh,
somebody
okay.
from the office about.
Okay.
But they're gonna be able to, like I said, file an appeal. They're gonna be able to fill out the questionnaires for their reassessment. All of the rental property owners will be able to fill out their rental paperwork and be able to just scan it and send it in. And the great thing for us is, my understanding of this is, when that happens, especially with the appeals, once they get filed, then because it is based out of our same CAMA system, that information automatically is gonna get uploaded, which is gonna save our office hundreds of hours. So you think about, we had 1,500 appeals this year. The time that it takes to enter all of those and get them organized and all of that, part of that is gonna get taken care of through this process, so, yeah.
It's a one-time setup fee is what you're asking for.
Yep.
It's in your budget, and you've got your ongoing expense of operating this in your budget as well.
Correct.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Next on our agenda is an amendment to the Hendricks County zoning ordinance. Mr. Dombrowski. Tim?
Morning.
Good morning.
This is first of many zoning ordinance amendments that you'll be seeing from the planning
Good.
office, from the planning commission. Because as you know, we've completed our comprehensive plan update recently, so.
Yes.
And to that end, I do have a new hire with me, Ian James. Ian, do you want to stand up? We talked about, with the plan commission, made the decision to fill a open planner position and have the capacity to update our ordinances in-house. It'll take maybe a little bit longer, but I think we'll do a little bit better job of it. Ian specifically has his background in public administration from IU. And so he'll be our public engagement sort of point. He'll keep us on track, make sure that we have meaningful public engagement throughout the process, and we're not just checking boxes. So excited to have Ian here to help us with that.
And this amendment deals specifically with accessory dwelling units.
This amendment is we're in a unique position right now because Brad and Bob have both been on the planning commission for a long time. Brad's still there. At the last meeting, we talked about the process we've been through to get to this point where we permit accessory dwellings or, in-laws quarters, carriage house, whatever you want to call it. We've been through multiple stages of permitting those. And at this point, we've been permitting them for a long time and not been having any issues with them. So we want to continue to see if we can make it more approachable, more acceptable. And so one of the things that was in the ordinance as a means of making sure that the units fit into the context of where they were being built was an adjustable setback, so that the units were closer to the house than they were to the property line. Over the last couple of years of permitting these, we probably permit close to 30 a year, and do a lot of variances for that setback because it's not meeting the needs of the people who are building them, and it's not protecting what it's intended to protect from the neighbors, because we're not hearing any remonstrance from those variances. So as we talk about, whenever we see something that's a consistent variance that's granted, we want to amend it out of the ordinance, which is what this is doing, changing the setback so that the accessory dwelling is not restricted to be set back any farther than a primary residence would be. That's what this ordinance is doing. It's cleaning up a couple other things in the text, and it's also making it so that we have a little bit more flexibility in the architectural requirements for accessory dwellings. It's something that's been a problem, that's been a little bit too restrictive. This just gives us more flexibility on how to interpret the standards. It doesn't lower the standards, it just gives me specifically as the director more flexibility in what design standards are applied. But really, it's the setback change that's the biggest.
That's the big one.
We had a public hearing at the last Plan Commission meeting. We had one citizen come in support of the change, and the Plan Commission voted unanimously on a favorable recommendation.
Okay.
Question, Mr. President.
Yes.
Brad, what were your comments about that?
I think it's just smart adjustment to the ordinance.
Okay.
It makes it slightly less restrictive. Like you said, it's gonna prevent them going to the BZA for
Okay.
an exception. And in these cases, you're not having a remonstrator, so it tells me that the ordinance needs changed.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
You bet. And thanks to the Plan Commission as well. Mr. Ayers.
Yes, sir.
You want to do concrete curbs and gutter repairs in some locations?
Yes, we have two projects, one in Mares Meadows and one in Sheffield Park. We got 3 quotes, got 2 quotes back on one, 3 quotes back on the other, I think. And recommend awarding the replacements to Perkins Construction in Mares Meadows and J.E. Cox in Sheffield Park.
Okay.
Move for approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Highway equipment purchases, John.
So there's 2 things we want to buy here, actually 3 things, 2 different types of equipment. The first is a mower. Typically, Kurt can talk more about this, but right now we mow our roadsides with basically farm tractors with boom mowers mounted on them, made for that purpose. We want to buy one of these, which is special built for that, for
These were
roadside.
at the Commissioners' Conference.
Same one you and I seen a couple years ago at the
Yeah.
Commissioners Conference.
Yeah.
And we've, go ahead, John, sorry.
So we think those will work a lot better for what we need to do. I mean, it's made for that. I think the equipment will last longer than a farm tractor will with a boom mounted mower.
It can do more too.
Yeah, and we're buying some other stuff to go with it that'll increase its functionality.
We demonstrated some other similar units, but we've decided on this one that's, we like its center of gravity. It's pretty low, so it's not as tipsy. It's got a lot of metal on it, as opposed to fiberglass and stuff. We are getting some attachments for it. It has a berm, so on the front of it, I don't know if you got this picture here. On the front of it, it's got like a skid steer mount, so any kind of skid steer attachment you could put on a skid steer, you could put on the front of this, like a berm or a little bucket or something. And then it comes standard with the rotary head, the 60-inch rotary head, which is good for the smaller stuff. And then we're getting a Fecon head for it, which kind of looks like a tiller, but it's kind of, you can reach up in here and it's good for bigger stuff, 4 to 8 inch limbs.
And we're getting a blower for it, which is kind of the exciting thing. The process now is with the tractors, we have to put a guy behind the tractor to get the debris off the road, like small limbs and stuff, with usually rakes and a backpack blower. Well, this unit will have a blower on it. You should have a picture of it. If you don't, I have one here. But it'll do that without putting somebody out on the road, which in my mind makes it safer for our guys. So it's a pretty nice unit. It'll replace a 10-year-old tractor with a boom mower on it.
It's way better than a tractor.
Yeah, it's kind of purpose built for this.
A little pricey.
Yeah.
And my just comments or my notations were, are all those options, attachments, are they really necessary, or are they something that's gonna sit at the highway garage? I mean, I'm all for it if they're gonna get utilized, but the last thing, what I tend to see is attachments going, it was a good idea, but no use. I've got a skid steer, I've got attachments, and I've got some that never been used.
So there's actually quite a lot of attachments that would go on this thing that I had the same thought process that Brad did or does. And are we going to use this? And the answer to the 3 attachments that I just kind of detailed for you, are we going to use it? The answer is yes.
Who makes this piece of equipment?
So they're made in Florida, which was one of my hesitancies about every time I try to.
Who for the services?
Right, every time I try to buy a piece of equipment, what about parts and service?
Right.
And so it's made in Florida, so the good thing, I guess it's made in the USA. Some of these other units I looked at are made outside the country. So in terms of parts and service, we'll rely on parts and service from Florida, but they do have someone who can work on them. Of course, simple stuff we'll do ourselves. If it's got a loose hydraulic hose or something, we'll tighten it ourselves. But they do have somebody in Kentucky that's authorized to work on these.
My questions on this, Kurt and John, your request, you got 2 trucks, which are fine. That's a local dealer, and I think that's great. And then this unit that comes out of Florida, so there was nobody local that could really provide this, as I understand
I
it.
don't think there's anybody else local that makes this kind of unit, right?
But is there a unit like this that would be local? No, okay, all right.
You've looked at other manufacturers.
Yeah.
I have. We've demonstrated 2 other manufacturers. One of them's from Italy, and I think the other one's from Germany.
Okay.
How long has the company has been making that, been in business?
Good question. I won't get down to the exact years, but at least 5 years. Morgan County has 2 of them. I've spoken with them. They've had good things to say about them.
Hoping you're gonna say like 38 or 72, 143, 5 doesn't impress me, Kurt.
All right, I get it.
Sounds like private equity money to me.
If it was 38, we probably already have one, so.
It's got a Cummins motor. It's probably built in Columbus.
Probably, yeah, okay.
I'll move
So,
for approval.
for the 2 trucks and this mower max unit.
Yes.
So that's your motion.
Yes.
Is there a second? I'll second it.
I'd just like to make a comment, all 3 of these are they're on a quantity parts agreement with the state source one.
Yeah, the trucks are smoking deals. I mean,
Yeah.
That's a pretty good deal on those.
Nobody gets a better discount than government.
I wouldn't think so. Looking at that for
Right.
F-350s, you go,
Yeah.
really?
Just for the record, it's $461,730 for those 3 items. So we've got a motion and a second. Any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
Thank you.
Thanks.
Getting these ordered now will help ensure we get them sometime
Yeah,
next year.
I was gonna say, it's gonna take a while, right?
Yep.
Okay, John, keep moving ahead, interlocal agreement.
This is for a project that the town of Avon's doing that came to my attention through their engineer. I don't know if you're aware or not, but they have a large, like Easton Gray, a residential subdivision, maybe a mixed-use development, east of Avon at 575 East on the north side of it. Well, yeah, I'm sorry, east of 525, yeah, west of the town of Avon, sorry. And so the existing, if you can picture where old 36 comes out on the new 36, there's a stoplight there. In order to construct this entrance, they need for Easton Gray, just east of there.
Right by where I bought my coffee this morning.
There you go. They're gonna reconfigure that intersection to not allow left turns. I think that signal's going away. So in order to do that, the state said, okay, you need to divert the traffic back to 525, which comes out there by the Chevy dealer. And so to do that, they have to improve that stretch of 525 between old 36 and new 36 that runs past the Chevy dealer. That road is actually still in county jurisdiction. So in order to make that, and that's just a maintenance of traffic plan, it's just to show you the scope of the work. But they're widening it, adding lanes, upgrading that signal at 36. Avon's paying for all this, they're designing all this, but since it is in the county, they technically need an interlocal agreement with us to do that work.
Okay.
And that's what this agreement is. Greg has looked it over, he's okay with it. I have some comments on their plans, I'm gonna make comments on the construction details. They're at 60% design right now. I'm not sure what their construction schedule is, I've asked, but I don't remember what he said. So it's mainly formality to allow them to do that. I would say at some time in the probably not too distant future, that will probably all be annexed, but right now it's ours.
And this, again, would be for my signature as president, as opposed to the three of us. So
We have no financial obligation other than the maintenance after it's created. That seems like a pretty favorable, they need it.
Yeah, they do.
I have no problem with it. Move for approval.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay.
And this does have to go to the county council for their approval also.
Okay.
It's a fiscal body, so I'll get it on their agenda next.
Okay, now, John, notice the bidders for the Ronald Reagan Parkway Phase 1B.
Yes.
That's to keep us moving ahead.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And we needed to do that this meeting because you don't have another meeting for 3 weeks. And we really need to get, our designers are working feverishly right now to get the plans ready to go out. Actually, they're in a phone meeting right now with some utilities. We're not ready to put the plans out in the street yet, but we need to have them out before your next meeting. So that's why I brought this to you today. We would like to advertise the first week of October. And I have the 6th, I think, in my memo, but that's the Monday, so I don't know what the advertising schedule is, Milo.
Second will be the first one in October.
This October 2nd?
They advertise on Thursdays.
Okay.
So the 2nd or the 9th, you have to do
The
it
9th,
twice.
it'd be the 9th.
So it'll be the 9th and 16th then that we advertise.
So, John and Mila, are the dates on here then correct or not? The 12th day of November,
Did you
9
write
a.m.?
Okay,
Okay, okay.
yeah, that, we want to bid it on the 12th of November.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, very good. Chair would entertain a motion.
Approval.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay.
I had
Thank you.
talked to Greg Garitas about timing that letting with the bond, when the
Yes.
bonds can be sold. He likes to get those, he doesn't like to sell those after Thanksgiving.
Right.
So that's, the 12th is pretty much the last day we can bid it
Yeah.
and then
Okay.
sell the bonds, so.
And it involves a lot of different folks, so we've got those bidding and then our financial advisor and our bond counsel and so on,
And we'll,
so.
we'll have to do a really quick review of the bids and award it that day.
Now, these will be bids to do what White Construction's doing now.
Yeah, it'll be the,
Bob,
well.
Bob, let me say it a different way. John, I'm sorry. It'll be for the next phase of taking the Ronald Reagan north from 750 to 1,000.
Right.
I would leave out, I would leave out the other word you used.
The actual dirt moving work.
Yeah, yep, actual construction. Yep. There's a couple box culverts on that, but not a big bridge like we have on this side.
Good.
All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. You got a lot going on. We appreciate it. Next item, we have two boards that we appoint to the Alcoholic Beverage Board and the Property Tax Assessment Board, or PWA, it's called, I guess. These are our current members on those boards, saying they will continue if we reappoint them. And that information was given to us, so.
Move for the reappointment of Karen Garnes, and
Mark
Mark Ratterman.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Okay. Comments from the floor. Anybody wish to make a comment? I could have bet a nickel who would step up.
Actually, I didn't really have anything planned, but based on some conversations earlier,
Okay. Well,
Jay
I'm sorry we
Thompson.
had that conversation.
772, you probably got it. Yeah. I texted Chief
Name,
Kevin Bash.
name, address, and social security
That's
number.
right, so you were talking about the fire territory stuff, so I texted Kevin Basham to let him know that you were thanking him for the money you guys provided, and you said they were doing 98%. He informed me they're at 100% response now. He just wanted that noted. And also that they are able to staff from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week now, so that's really helped their response. And I've noticed on the scanners I listen that they say.
Thank you for relaying that message.
Yeah, so they're very happy about that. And the other thing was that we did a property tax appeal this year, and I filled out a PDF and tried to email it. But apparently, I don't know, attachments don't come through, Doug, because they didn't get it. And I called a couple times, so she said, try the Beacon Online thing. So this new thing that Nikki's got probably will be easy. It wasn't too bad going through Beacon. I run a lot of security on my computer, so I have to turn on JavaScript 3 or 4 times for a bunch of different sites, and I hate to let Google know what I'm doing, so I never turn it on. But that process was pretty easy. And then one other thing, you've got what we call a BDA, or a cell phone booster system in the building, and Doug said there's been some degradation with Verizon. My recommendation to him was, before you got the system and started over, the donor antennas, it's called, that gets the signals from outside, it's just on the 3rd floor at basically 6 feet high. When it was installed, it was done improperly, I think. Paul and I were up there a couple years ago. The thing was mounted upside down and strapped to the metal pole. I mean, for an antenna, that would be like me putting my finger over the flashlight and trying to use it. So we moved it up to the top, and that got the 2-way radio stuff working down in what was Don's office at the time. And I know that my phone works pretty good on T-Mobile. So what I think is Verizon's probably changed their antenna system around here. And the antenna being that low, now that we've got the metal roofs up there, that's a big Faraday shield. So your NERF coming in is being reflected right up to the sky. Your only kind of field of view, more or less, is to the east, maybe a 40, 50-degree field. So I think a simple act of moving that antenna up above the roof line, because the cell sites have changed. In the old days, we had macro sites with the 3 big antennas at the top. Well, now they're going to what they call pico, or small cells, so they're a lot more localized. So they might have set some more of those up, which means they've turned the power down on the macro sites, because they're trying to be more specific and cut down the isolated areas, maybe on blocks versus covering square miles. So,
Well, Jay, at our farm, we had Hendricks County ham operators have an antenna on top of one of the large buildings. Then they also just recently installed a radio there.
yeah, the pig.
Charges, we pay the electricity for it.
Oh.
Is there any reason this tower couldn't be moved to another location?
Well,
To get better coverage?
Well, this one here just needs to be raised up so you have line of sight across the horizon.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, if you had a 6-foot fence and you're asking me to look over it versus Eric Waffen. So no problem for him. I'm like, I don't see nothing. So, yeah, so I think that would be the first step I'd do.
Okay.
Thank you, Jay.
Thanks, Jay.
Any other comments from anybody? Thank you. Elected officials, comments, anyone? Thank you. Staff reports. Mr. Ayers.
Most of my memo is updates. Number 9, and I meant to add this to the agenda and I didn't, so I apologize. We have a pipe on 525 East that you just told Avon to fix or to repair. South of 36, we have a structure under the road that we found a sinkhole and we repaired it, but we need to go in and gunite it where they spray a lining inside. So 36-inch diameter pipe, the guy has little guys, he has crawled through there and they spray it. I wouldn't do that job, but they do. So I'm asking for approval of a quote for him to do that work for $37,664.
Move for approval.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried.
Couple updates that weren't on my memo. One is the curve construction down at 700 South and 575 East. That's well underway. They were scheduled to put stone down yesterday and today and pave next week, but they've got delayed for 4 days. But that's moving along well. Just an issue to make you aware of on Bridge 290 in Avon. Back last year, you signed an interlocal agreement with Avon to pay for stuff they wanted on the bridge that we wouldn't normally do. It was about $1.5 million. The agreement said they would pay half of it last year and half of it in March of this year. That slipped through the cracks and I hadn't billed them, so I got around to billing them this year. The money they had appropriated for half of it last year didn't get re-encumbered, so they're asking to pay half now, which they've actually already paid, and then the other half in January of 26. I talked to Greg about it, if we need to redo the agreement or not. He didn't feel like we needed to, if you were okay with that.
Get our money collected.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's my fault for not, Steve Moore and I talked about it last September, and I just never followed up with an invoice, so.
We forgive you.
Thank you.
All right.
I'll pay it out of my pocket.
No.
It'll take a while.
That's all right.
Be working until you're 93.
Then the only other thing I was gonna add is, Denny gave me back his evaluations on the inspection consultant for the Ronald Reagan Parkway. We'll tabulate all these and I'll come back with a recommendation at the next meeting.
Good. Very good. Questions for John?
Do you have anything for me?
Okay. John?
The items on my report don't require any action by you, but I'll be happy to discuss them
Well,
if you want to.
I would say, let's have a consensus to move ahead with closing on these corners.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. So we'll keep that moving forward. That's number 4 there. Todd, thanks. Anything else? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Doug, anything that you want to mention?
Yeah, just a couple of updates. The item 2, we look into expanding the audio video meeting room 4 and 5, just kind of get some pricing on that.
Please.
Kind of help see if we can get those meetings a little bit better.
And we'll figure out, after you get the number, where to pay that from.
Sounds
All
good.
right. All right. Thank you.
Sure.
Paul?
Most of my stuff's all updates as well. I've got the fire alarm in this building starts to get, we're upgrading all of it. That's part of the elevator modernization.
Okay.
With the newer elevator code, we have to have a lot more capacity in our fire alarm that we do not have. So we're just upgrading the whole system in here. That starts in 2 weeks, I think, no, the 13th that week. That way they get one good day with nobody in the building, they can work on it, and then the rest of the week they'll just be here.
Okay.
The water line, the water service at the East Campus building. We've got nobody in that building now. I've barely got in there as voting machines at this time. And I'd like to get the water, go ahead and cut the water off there.
Okay. Fine.
I think that's, there's no point in paying for water service every month when there's nothing really happening there. I'm gonna keep the heat on just because they'll be in there programming voting machines eventually, and I don't think we'll have.
I mean, if they're gonna be programming voting machines in there, do they need restrooms?
They're usually there for 3 or 4 days, but they're not there all the time.
You need to you probably out of respect ought to run that by them before you get the water.
Good call.
Yeah, good call. I didn't really think of that.
They
so.
won't call us when they're unhappy, they will call you.
You know that.
No, I can't use the bathroom.
But other than that, if you guys don't have any questions, that's really about it. Thanks, Paul.
Mr. President, where are we with the elevators, Paul?
Roxanne's been reaching out to TK to find out, to nail down a date, and they're still waiting to secure some of the material. And once they've got that, then we're really ready to roll on them.
Are they
So
both working?
they're both working today. And actually, you know what? Let me knock on wood. They've been working now for quite some time, so I'm, you know, it's.
You're hopeful.
Yeah, yeah, the problem we've got is they're obsolete. When they do go down, you can't find parts for them. And they've been pretty creative at finding parts, used parts, and whatever they can get to keep them going.
Good. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Paul. County Attorney.
I've got some things.
Good. Commissioners.
Yes, sir.
Nothing.
I have one item that you guys might kick me for, but anyway, I'm gonna do it. So our animal shelter that we operate coordinates some with another agency in the county. It's called the Hendricks County Humane Society. And the Humane Society will be holding a fundraising event on November 7th from 7 to 10 p.m. in the evening at the CRG Event Center in Plainfield. So if anybody wants to know more about that, go to the Humane Society website, which is hendrickshumane.org, and you'll find out more information. And that is the additional comment I will make. Anybody else? Anything? All right. We are adjourned. Thank you.